Lovely to meet you all, and thank you for coming to the JSE. I'm Valdine Reddy. Pelly introduced me as the new CEO. I'm the new old CEO because I'm very much part of the DNA of the exchange for the last 11 years, but in industry for 21, 22 years almost soon. So thank you for the time. And I think, firstly, let me commend our team as well as the grouping here. So each of the media houses and your respective entities. Thank you for being proactive and responsible in the engagement, and we are thrilled to also just share some insights. And I also believe we have some people online, so welcome to those online. Yep. It's a really important stakeholder group, I think, reciprocally, both ways of what the JSE represents and also what you represent. I'm thrilled to be around the table because it means then we have the opportunity to build relationships, to get to know each other a bit better, but also to get a bit more context of knowledge. And I think knowledge is power in how we communicate that, and it's our responsible stewardship of how we communicate that. And your landscape is changing just as fast as I think our landscape is changing, as is the world right now. Very noisy environment, but also a challenging environment, but I think it also then presents opportunities for change, opportunities for evolution, opportunities for more empowerment of voice and viewpoints, which is great. So in our space, capital markets can be very technical, that we appreciate, and also fast moving. And yet decisions that are made here affect businesses, they affect lifestyles, livelihoods, retirements, pension funds. And at the JSE, we know very acutely there's a strong national agenda imperative that we represent or also can enable. And so we don't take that lightly. And also, so the responsible communication, I think, then is really an important one of how we get our messaging across or how an industry is perceived. Often I'll listen to the radio and I cringe sometimes because they say the JSE is up or down, but they mean the JSE index, or things like that. But when you're saying it's up, I will take that because it helps our stock price as well. But little things like that, and that's the technical aspect. And one other point to note is, and I came back from an industry or global exchanges forums recently, and one of the things they were talking about, which was a profound statement for me, is their entire world, whether we're talking of a listings reg, a markets reg, a way we run our operations, is being driven right now by the retail client, the man on the street, which is pretty much the communication voice each of you touch or that ends up with. And whether you're talking about a digital asset, crypto, or whether you're talking about now the way people trade, or the social media platforms where it's now actually where they're building investment thesis or they're selling stocks. So capital markets technicality is changing fast. So it really becomes more important if the client base starts changing that we communicate effectively and accurately with responsibility. So that is really a huge fundamental belief in how we come to saying, how do we work with each of you guys? The fact that we're not just giving interviews, but spending the time here is to say our door is open, to make sure that part of our responsibility element is tackled, and where it is unknown or uncertain, let us engage to say, how can we bring more clarity to effective communication and reporting? Because right now it's actually dictating the decision-making or the viewpoints or perceptions of a country, of a nation, of people, and how people allocate their capital. So it's not just about, today is not just about, journalism and the role we fit in, but also about how do we give you guys content, access, and the right information. Hence, you'll see such a diverse lineup today from our side, which is great. And the stronger that we get to understand the capital markets, I think is the biggest objective. I'm glad there's someone who's a graduate, so coming up in the career, you also learn the industry. But what we all know is, and as we have changed, you don't get dedicated, you don't have the luxury of dedicated sector analysis or reporting anymore. And so having a broad-based view, or then having access to the right information when things are unknown, is really an important point that we want to show our availability and our access to. So we have a long history. I'm thrilled to be part of, even as we set our strategy for something new, fresh, creating an exchange of the future, we have a deep legacy base that we're building on. One that is trusted, one that is known, well-established, and represents so much more than the organization that we are. it represents the power of the capital markets, which is a huge part of the SA economy. I mean, the market cap of what we have at the JSE far surpasses that even of the GDP of the country. The growth that we are demonstrating, is so much more compelling than what we're doing at a country level. So it's so important in terms of getting this ecosystem right. So we are proud to actually be bastions of that legacy. So even in our setting our 2031 strategy, and I'll come to some of those elements now, at the heart and center, we talk about how we preserve and we make sure the core runs at the most integrity standards. So we facilitate trading, clearing and settlement, and really the premise is to allow markets that function efficiently and safely. It is not something we take lightly. Switching these markets on, doing what we do for our day, switching them off is something that is a high imperative. If it goes wrong, it actually cripples the ability to have decision making. And now you're finding fast-paced activity. I'll stem to it. Our business is actually in a position of strength at the moment. We've just come out of our 2025 reporting season in February and produced some of our strongest results ever. Why? Because the markets were thriving. We were trading up 25 to 30% in value and volume, driven by a political dictate, whatever Trump was doing, whatever unrest was happening globally, whatever value proposition the South African market had in a commodity cycle. All of that manifested to elevated activity. Yes, it did strengthen the way the JSE is positioned, but the responsibility and the accountability we had to take behind the scenes of making sure our business performed at the level that it did was really a big task for us. We were not isolated in the role that we play in the economy. So keeping markets up, making sure the investment we make to have efficient, resilient, trusted markets are important. So we're thrilled to come off with, having that the strong performance of our business gives us the ability to invest confidently into the future of our business, which then affects the SA markets and then, like we said, a strong contributor to the SA economy. So Andre will cover a lot more of the listings and the initiatives we've been doing. But at the heart and center, we are a listings regulator. So we are a listings authority. So there's this trust and governance and assurance that we bring to the market that is of high imperative for us as an organization. Later, you'll speak to Sean Davies. He runs the market reg function. And again, after the trades happen at the exchange, or throughout the day, the market reg function is also, how do we say to our investors, they can trust coming to trade in South Africa, that we have globally recognized standards and frameworks. So in our listing space, there's a lot we've proactively managed to make sure we had the right balance between investor protection, confidence, and trust in our market, to making sure that our reforms, our products, our frameworks are all of a standard that will encourage to say South Africa is open for business, and that the JSE is not just globally recognized, but that we are a value-add proposition for anyone who wants to raise capital, and thereafter anyone who wants to manifest a view on that capital and trade the stock. So those elements are really high imperative. So as we focused on a number of key initiatives, you would have seen that in media. The essence of the initiatives were, we've done a market segmentation initiative, which has really spoken about the right relevance and proportionality of the listings environment. How do we make sure we can offer a listings framework that is trusted, but that is proportionate to the environment that an institution needs to operate at? Secondly, how can we give companies the ability to grow and transition? We've had many stocks this year move from all text to the main board. We take that with pride because it enables this growth trajectory that we as a venue can offer them in their different journeys of their business. And then we've also, and we don't do this lightly, attracted global names like Canal Plus. And then last year we had, we have Coca-Cola Hellenic, which has been long awaited in the pipeline and publicly spoken about, as well as the potential for homegrown companies like Fidelity, which is in the media and one we've spoken to many, many years, where hopefully if they come to a public market race, they choose the JSE. So for us, having a strong value proposition of saying, as a country, we stand strong to attract global listings to our market, as well as provide the trajectory for our local companies of growth or then scale. We want to provide a venue and a listings framework that helps them come to the right product. There's also another stream that we're working on, which is what we call Operation Phumelela. Now, many of us are familiar with the structural reforms of the country under Operation Vulindlela, which is run by Rudy Dix, but out of the office of the presidency. We cannot get out the gates in any of our engagements if we cannot show alignment to structural reforms at a country level that enables our business. And so private sector has leaned in strongly, and we've launched a parallel stream for capital markets reforms called Operation Phumelela. Two principles we've done. We've made it an industry initiative so that we have more trust as we have collective viewpoints and then more diversity. Second, gives us the ability to task that with the right skills and competence across the industry to get execution. And execution is what is actually where we put our money where our mouth is. So there we work across national treasury, regulators, issuers. Like I said, we have a broader steering committee across market infrastructure providers. And that's an important part for us. That's how we stack what we can enable through the capital markets, but that align to national agenda reforms. And that is really a lens we use. When we look at all the SOE status right now, we don't see us far removed. We're working with our SOEs. Are they the right products that they can come to markets within equities and debt? If not, what are the globally competitive products we can look to bring into our framework? What are the right structures over different phases? So we take that as well as our role as a key financial market infrastructure, but then enables the environment of capital raise. Then I spoke briefly about our strategy. So we are in a chapter where we're calling it Forge 2031. So if you start hearing that from the JSE, it's what we're calling our 2031 strategy. And basically we are now graduating out of our 2026 strategy, and off the space, the 139-year base, the last 5-year base, we are building off into now what we're calling Forge 2031. But at the heart and center of Forge is the same principles that have been the thread for us, except doing it in a time of relevance, more agility on scale for this current phase of where we're at. But it's deepening and strengthening core markets. How do we accelerate our technology, not just leadership, but investment to make sure we run smoothly? How do we actually expand our products and services? As I spoke to you, there's new products, services, new client base that we're servicing. How do we start differentiating some of what we do in a trusted, credible way with the strong brand that we have to actually unlock value and to service a broader client base? And then how do we think selectively and targetedly? What does that mean for South Africa? What does that mean for the continent? And what does that mean for the rest of the world? One of the reforms and the narratives we are holding very strongly at a country level and at a JSE level, at an industry level, is not that we are a strong South African or emerging market, that we're a strong globally competitive market. And I think we're at a time now when we can own that narrative. South Africa delivered an 80% dollar return last year. One of the best performing markets in the world. So it's not something that we go lightly. The fast-track listings process has 14 global jurisdictions, 14 to 16 global jurisdictions that we can make it easy for you to come and list on the JSE. No duplication, a very easy, attractive profile, and then a deep institutional base of secondary market liquidity here that is standing far better than even some of the developed world majors. So the narrative now is not that we're the strongest emerging market, that we're one of the most globally competitive, relevant marketplaces in the world right now. So that is really quite the premise of where we're heading into Forge. And then a lot of questions have come up over the years. So what does this mean for JSE out of the continent? We're one of the biggest exchanges on the continent. We are among top 20 in the world. I think we're top 17, and we own that as well, just not top 20 only, but top 17 in the world. And why has the rest of the continent not got there? So we have a commitment to the continent, but we also have a realization that there's a phased approach in what you can get scale on the continent. So in terms of the commitment level, we have a Pan-African strategy in terms of we've already put plumbing in place with our Africa Exchanges Linkages project, but how do we now actually get that on scale? And the opportunities in technology, data, market connectivity, cross-border capital flows, whether that's from a listing, a secondary listing or capital raise, and then how do we strengthen regional markets is more the play than saying we are now going into a jurisdiction that we would struggle to operate. So the continent does matter. The continent definitely has potential and opportunity. The whole world is chasing the continent in different pockets, from infrastructure to people to digitization to banking to telcos and media. Absolutely, capital markets and financial services will matter. So the story for Africa is definitely compelling, and we will be very select and deliberate in how we see a value for us as well as for the rest of the continent. So really, maybe if I can just leave 3 lines for how we would think about things to sum up what I've said is, we really believe strongly, and it'll be in our DNA for the next 140 years, we exist to connect capital with opportunity, and then everything along that value chain we will do credibly with the right investment and with the forward-looking lens of what's next as the world evolves. We are preserving what makes trusted markets important, and then we transform what makes us competitive for the future. So that is a strong lens that we have for our business, and strong skills for managing our status quo and for what's needed to take us into the future. And then a deep understanding of our capital markets. We all appreciate we do so much more than the roles of what our jobs dictate, because it's at a country level, the broad ecosystem that we serve. And the stronger the quality of public conversation around the economy, the most important. This is off script, so I don't know if it's right and wrong. Personally, from me, you will look, in my engagements with you guys, probably 2 things I would ask that we have a reciprocal relationship. Let's test each other on the quality and accuracy of the things we are reporting on. Like I said, you have access to us. Please check it, because the worst thing you can do is spoil the narrative as a top line with inaccurate headings or inaccurate information. It derails a whole narrative. And then the second thing is, yes, there's lots of negativity, but let's not undermine the strong value proposition that the South African marketplace, the JSE and our credibility, or any of the other corporates we want to showcase. It is a time now for us to all look at our industries of how they thrive and make South Africa relevant. So a balanced lens is a really important one, rather than the sensational one. And I know it's slightly different mandates, but it's a responsibility role. And so those are 2 things that I personally would want in our engagements while we're sitting together around a table for the next couple of years.